Now I'm about to pull the last terminal out of the old connector block. I did the same process on the vehicle that I did over there on the bench. And what I've got to do is line up this notch with that notch, come out here and start putting one wire at a time back in. And just to make sure, check all relative positions, and they are good. And that one's in. This is going to be a lot easier than the other ones because the other ones I only had like 1/2 inch to 1 inch of wire to work with. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3 spaces in between. 1, 2, 3, and then the terminal goes in. Just double check that. Blue on the end, 3 spaces, purple wire. Now this next one goes right beside it. And so on. And I just have to keep on keeping on one at a time till I get them all in there. Give an extra little push on them, make sure they're all in there good. And start over on the next row. I'm going to skip one. And then we skip 2. And the last one goes in the last peg of that hole, of that row. Got to skip 2. Skip 2. Just take your time, one at a time. Make sure you got the right one every time, and everything goes pretty smooth. Now, this one here starts 2 from the end, so you got to skip 2. 1, 2, put that one there. And then we skip 1. Skip 1. And then it goes right beside it. Then we skip 2. 1, 2. Put that one right there. And this is the last one in that row. Give them a good little push, make sure they stay. Now, you need to come back around to this side and push this lock back in. And that locks all those terminals in that connector to where they won't come back out. Now we got to start working this stuff back up. And I found, like I said earlier, it's easier to take it row by row or every other row and work this around. It goes a little bit quicker. And keeps everything going smooth. And we have to get that seated down in there where it's nice and flat. Well, I tell you, this is so much easier than it was yesterday when I was doing these wires and I only could pull that seal back to about this far. That was pretty tough getting them back together. Now I've got to kind of roll that down a little bit as you push this forward to get the work past the curve of the wire. And that'll be more important the closer we get to the end. Now we've got to try to make sure that all these pins go in. I think the last time that I was having trouble, I held this thing upside down with the color end up and then pushed it in. Yep, that worked pretty good. Yep. Now, just going to give a little push on these green pieces to make sure they're stuck in the seals well. A couple of them down in here. And a few of them right there. Now that looks like we should be in there pretty good. Now, I got to put these covers back on there to kind of protect everything. And what I want to do is I want to get an idea where everything goes. There, I kind of got an idea. Now I can look back here and see where I got to wrap some tape around the wire on the inside. So we're going to have 2 layers of tape there. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these wires formed into a nice curve and to hold everything with tape. And that, when we wind up holding them down to this cover, it's going to keep these things from vibrating around and possibly breaking the wires where they go in. So now we go in with this, and you got to go a little bit slow so you don't break those little tabs. Make sure everything's looking square. Now that's back on there. Now we just got to wrap some tape around there to finish securing that. And what I generally do is I pull the tape around to the bottom side, and I put the tear underneath, and that way when you look at it from the top side, you never see the exposed edge of the tape. Well, that one's done. Now I've got the other ones, everything's traded out, but on the other ones I got to go back and put these hoods on. But you've seen how that's done. I think we don't need to worry about that too much more, I don't believe.